Hi, and welcome to Doomer Boomer. I'm Conroy Pitt, and it looks increasingly like the world as we know it is coming to an end. I'll admit, I've been on full alert since Y2K. I had my pantry full of rice and beans and some spare batteries, just in case.
Okay. I find the kitchen is the best place to store my Y2K supplies because I live in a small apartment and really there's no other place to keep my stuff. So I'll show you what I have that I think is going to...
John, what's that helmet doing there? What's that for?
Oh, that's in case the North Koreans... well, let's just talk about Y2K for now, okay? All right. I'll start over on this side with what I call my dry goods. They're all dry goods, essentially, but I guess my barter goods. After Y2K, I assume that certain things like toothpaste and soap and toilet paper will be hard to come by, so I've stocked up on those items, not only for my personal use, but to trade for such things as cigarettes and chocolate. I got some candles. For obvious reasons. Coffee whitener. And some canned goods, some chicken stew. And some vitamin C tablets, which a lot of people haven't thought about. But, you know, when the computer bugs hit, it's going to hit the third world the hardest. And down where they grow the fruit like bananas and oranges in Paraguay or Uruguay or Mexico or wherever they grow them, the trains aren't going to be running with this stuff, so it's good to have some vitamin C pills. And various other items, sugar.
John, I see that you have a lot of things that need to be cooked. You have rice and beans that need hot water, and I was just wondering, how are you going to get power in case of a Y2K meltdown? How will you heat your food or boil water or even heat your apartment?
Okay, I see that Dave told me you're a pretty good guy, but I see what I'm dealing with is someone that prefers to come up with negatives rather than positives. So watch my mash.
In between then and now, we've had global terrorism, stock market collapses, climate turmoil, lunatic world leaders, extremism, and, of course, our new pal, COVID. You may be wondering what my angle is. What is my ideological agenda? Am I a libertarian or a nationalist? Maybe a religious apocalypticist or a doomsday prepper? No, I'm none of those things. I just like to have enough rice and beans on hand to stretch out the inevitable by a few weeks. But I love all my brothers and sisters from around the world, of all faiths and nations. And politically, I suppose I'm a liberal-leaning centrist. This is more a personal education project. I would like to try to reach out and grab some of the threads, like environmental collapse, civil disorder, economic upheavals, and weave them into a vlog of destruction. President Biden tells us we shouldn't panic, but COVID's going to overrun hospitals. So by now, January 2nd, 2022, we are all thoroughly sick of COVID and probably are no longer panicking. I mean, maybe we should. But I'm boosted. I've taken all the precautions that I can. Who has the emotional energy left to panic? I don't know. If we look at this graph, which is from Oregon, but it's the most graphy graph I could find. And I imagine the vax rate in Oregon is probably around 12%. I may be wrong. But I think everyone's Omicron is going to reflect this sort of progression. So we all may truly be in some trouble by the end of January, early February. So check back in a month and see if that's the case. Another big thing to watch in 2022 is the economy. The Guardian says global financial markets should brace for a bumpy ride in 2022. Business Insider says things will become more expensive, but employment will remain low. The Irish Times lists a number of things that could derail everything in 2022. And as we've already experienced most of these things to one degree or another, they don't seem far-fetched. We are in the future, friends. Climate, of course, is the spinning cyclone in the room that we can't ignore. Countries aren't going to reach their emission targets. They won't even make serious efforts, I'm pessimistically inclined to believe. The climate crisis will continue. Maybe we'll become inured to disasters in other areas and just be glad that it isn't our own home floating away. The EPA gives us a number of things to keep an eye on in 2022. I think we can all anecdotally testify to weird local weather things, more rain than usual, less rain than usual, unusually hot late into the season. We don't need science degrees to understand what's happening. Then we have UFOs, like we needed any more curveballs. I've been interested in UFOs since I was a kid, but now there seems to be an opening up of information and more footage from the Air Force. Maybe 22 is the year we make contact. And then we got this guy. There's no value in looking any further into his message. Like Marshall McLuhan said, the medium is the message. And we'll see if these empty vessels will keep delivering instability to the fringe. I tend to downplay the white nationalist threat. I think they're doing a rearguard action in a culture war they have already lost. I don't think there'll be a civil war in the USA, but I'm generally wrong about things like this. So we'll see you on the next Doomer Boomer 22. Thanks for watching.